Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's a real pleasure to be here with you today. And I want to talk about something that I'm incredibly passionate about, of course, hypnotherapy. Now, not just the practice of hypnotherapy, but the actual business of hypnotherapy. My name is John Lowson, and like many of you that are watching this video, I've walked the path from student to practitioner. I've also learned a lot along the way, and not just in the therapy room, but also in the world of business. Today, we're going to dive into some of the points that we've covered in our practitioner's handbook, a handbook that we've published to help you guys navigate the first year of being in practice. It addresses all the questions and the concerns that go far beyond just seeing clients. Now, our goal is to give you a clear, actionable guide that you can refer to and allow you to build a successful, sustainable business from day one. The book is available via an ebook download, or you can even have a printed version delivered to you. The details we will cover at the very end of this presentation. Now, this free CPD will certainly give you all the requirements that you need, but the handbook dives in a lot deeper. It offers even more tips and strategies for your first year in practice. You can also watch this video on replay, and by answering a few simple questions, just to show that you've taken in the information, you'll then be able to download your own personalized attendance certificate, your own very CPD certificate. And again, we'll cover the details of this at the end of the CPD. You will receive a link via email from Luma, who hosts our CPDs. So please just watch out for your spam folder.
My journey from boardroom to therapy room.
So just to give you a little context on where the knowledge for some of this information comes from, a little bit about me and my journey to becoming a hypnotherapist. It was a little bit unconventional, maybe, was my route. And before I hung up my employee hat in 2019, I spent over 35 years within the world of business. My background is sales and marketing, a career that saw me as the youngest business manager for a national electrical wholesaler, running a £1 million business at the age of 23, which was some feat. I progressed through the ranks, eventually branching out into manufacturing and becoming a pan-European sales and product marketing development manager for a large electrical company. With the birth of the internet happening within my career, I was definitely involved also in developing one of the first online electrical component e-commerce sites. And this was in a world before Google had even been created. And for the last 15 years prior to becoming a hypnotherapist, I was a sales and marketing director for a multi-million-pound local electrical company and headed up their e-commerce and explore business. Now, to go this experience gave me a unique perspective. And I've seen firsthand how a strategic professional mindset is really the bedrock of any success in any field of every business. It's this blend, though, of our therapeutic knowledge and the business acumen that forms the core of this handbook. My partner in both business and in life, Natalie, with her law background, keeps our business on track. She's the eagle eye of our business, while my sales marketing experience heads up all our continued development and growth. I also provide supervision to up to 60 hypnotherapists across the UK. And I want to share the practical, real-world advice from business that I gathered, some of which I certainly wish I had when I was starting out.
The foundation, shifting your mindset and laying the groundwork.
Okay, so let's begin with what I believe is the most crucial step, a profound mindset shift. You've just finished your training. You're now a professional business owner, and this means taking full responsibility for every facet of your practice. It's not just about the clinical work, but it's about the finance, the marketing, the legal compliance, and your professional identity as a brand. Viewing your practice as a business from day one ensures that you prepare to manage it strategically and sustainably, and this is the bedrock which all your future success will be built. So now let's talk about the non-negotiable administrative and legal steps. And these are the things that you absolutely must do to operate legally and ethically. First, let's look at business registration. So for most new practitioners, the simplest and most common route is to register as a sole trader with HMRC. Now, the gov.uk website outlines all the steps. It also mentions about the key steps, which I think are important to determine whether or not the business is a right fit for you, to choose a business name, to keep records. As I've mentioned, you need to register with the HMRC as self-employed, and check which taxes apply and start planning right now for them. Next is professional insurance, and this is a must-have. You need professional indemnity insurance to protect you from claims of professional error, and public liability insurance to cover you for any injury or property damage. Now, you also need to ensure that your policy includes product liability, especially if you're selling downloads or giving anything away, anything that can be considered as a product. And if you're working alongside other therapists, maybe even voluntarily, you will also need to have employee liability insurance. So always check with your insurance provider if in any way your business operator changes, and make sure that you get it in writing. Data protection is also a legal imperative. You must comply with GDPR. Now, this means that you have a clear privacy policy, obtaining explicit consent from clients to all their data, and making sure that you securely store all your notes either in a locked cabinet or using a password protected digital file. You must also register with the ICO, which is the Information Commissioner's Office, for data collection, and failure to do so can result in heavy fines. While not legally required for hypnotherapy, an enhanced DBS check is a huge mark of professionalism, especially if you plan to work with children or vulnerable adults. Now, you could apply for this through the NCH website, the National Council of Hypnotherapy, or you can do it individually via your local government office. And once you get your DBS back, you should register for the annual renewal service. This is less than £20 a year, and it saves you from having to renew your certificate every 3 years. And of course, the professional bodies. Professional body membership. Joining a recognised professional body, such as the NCH, the National Council for Hypnotherapy, or the APHP, the Association for Professional Hypnosis and Psychotherapy. This is really just a sign of your professional commitment. It provides credibility, a formal complaints procedure, and access to ongoing training, as well as a community of other peers. You may also wish to join the CNHC if your qualification allows you to do so. But I want you to remember, just because you're a member of the CNHC doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to bring a flood of NHS inquiries.
Financials and workspace.
Let's touch on the financial side of things. It's absolutely essential that you keep meticulous records of all your income and all your expenses. And remember, you can claim for lots of things for your business. Things such as car travel, which is normally 45 pence a mile for the first 10,000 miles every tax year. But this doesn't include your commute to and from your home. So now a crucial point. While you can claim for travel and accommodation expenses all related to your training course, HMRC rules that the cost of the course itself cannot be claimed if it's the intention of using the course to start a business. Now, my biggest piece of advice when I talk about accounts and tax, etc., is to book a 30-minute consultation with an accountant early on. And appointing a good, efficient accountant, trust me, will be one of the best investments in your business that you could ever make. Also, consider setting up a separate bank account. Again, while not a legal requirement for a sole trader, it certainly makes tracking all your finances for tax returns far easier. Also, online business accounts such as Tide or Sterling, these are great options. But of course, there are lots of others available. I would have a shop around. They've all got pros, they've all got cons. Now, workspace, whether or not you're working, seeing clients face-to-face or on Zoom, you've got two main options, working from home or renting a space. Now, if you're working from home, you must check with both your home and your business insurance providers. It's also crucial to review your mortgage or rental agreement because some of them have restrictions on running a business from your property. If you do rent a professional space, you'll need to ensure that there's a lease agreement in place. And be vigilant about any hidden clauses, such as utility charges, any service charges, rent increase notice periods, etc. And you'll also be likely to be liable for business rates. Now, there is relief that's available, such as small business rates relief, but you have to apply for this with your local council. So don't expect it to be automatic. You may get a rates bill, a business rates bill, but again, you would need to apply to have that relief. And of course, whether or not you're at home or in a rented office, your personal safety is paramount. Now, in the book, we talk about some simple but very effective ways to ensure that you feel secure in your workplace, such as using maybe a separate SIM card for your business or a cloud-based phone service like Smart Numbers. It doesn't publish your mobile number. Instead, it's a local phone number, which gives you that privacy. You can also create the illusion of not working alone by leaving out a pair of men's shoes, maybe outside the room, or having a TV or radio playing in an opposite room, shouting out to a non-existent person in the next room. And if you ever have any concerns about your safety or client security, you should call your supervisor immediately to discuss it. And if any incident feels abusive to you, you must record it to the police.
Defining your professional presence.
So part 2 is all about your professional presence as a business. And this is how the world sees you and your practice. And remember, you are your brand. So it needs to be trustworthy. It needs to be consistent and professional across all platforms. And a huge part of this is making a strategic choice really about your specialism. I know many of us come into this business wanting to help everyone with everything. But have you considered niching down? Now, niching isn't about limiting yourself. It's about focusing your efforts to become a go-to expert. For example, instead of just anxiety, you could niche down into anxiety for professionals with imposter syndrome, or maybe weight management for new mothers. And this just makes your marketing more efficient, and it can build credibility much faster. Now, just a quick point before we jump into marketing, let's just recap and understand the rules that are set by the Advertising Standards Authority, or the ASA. These are the guys that regulate advertising to ensure that it's legal, decent, honest, and truthful. And in hypnotherapy, this is particularly important for any claims that you might make within the public arena. You must not claim to be able to help with addiction, including alcoholism. The only exception with addictions is smoking cessation. And the ASA rules accept that hypnotherapy can be effective for smoking cessation. But even with this, you must have a clear disclaimer that results may vary and client commitment must be attained. You must not claim to be able to cure depression or anxiety. Your focus should always be on helping clients with the symptoms of depression or anxiety, such as stress, negative thinking, or low mood. And you certainly must not claim to be able to help to treat, cure, or alleviate the symptoms of cancer. You can, however, offer hypnotherapy to help with the side effects of the cancer treatment, such as pain, stress, or insomnia. And testimonials. You must ensure that any testimonials that you use are genuine and not misleading. You cannot use testimonials from clients who are under the age of 18 or anybody who is considered vulnerable. Testimonials must not make claims that you are not allowed to make, such as curing depression. And the ASA may ask for contact details of the person who gave the testimonial to verify its authenticity. But you must have a system in place to do so. And in all cases, on your advertising, especially your website, you must have a clear disclaimer that states that results may vary between clients and that the effectiveness of the therapy depends on the client's commitment to the process.
Your digital and local presence.
So websites, you need a professional website. Your website is your 24/7 storefront. It should be clean, mobile friendly, and immediately answer the question, is this for me? Make sure you've got a clear headline, a professional headshot, and an About Me page that tells your story. This just helps build that rapport. SEO, or search engine optimization. This is how you get found on the internet. Now, for a new practice, a simple professional one-page website can be highly effective because it means it can be optimized. Now, be wary of anyone that's promising to get you to the top page of Google overnight, because that's often a paid ad, and that's going to cost you money. Now, the whole world seems to be focused on Google, but it's also crucial to remember that the main competitor to Google is Bing, B-I-N-G. And Bing is the default search engine for all Windows-based laptops, PCs, smartphones. So this means that a significant portion of the population will use Bing without even thinking about it. So you can actually link your Google business profile, which we're going to talk about next, to your Bing account. It's really easy to import all your information across. And if anything that you take from this CPD today, it has to be this. A Google business profile is a must. And it's actually easier to set up than you may think. So let's go through the setup process for a Google business profile. And in the book, we cover this in a lot more detail. So if you've got a physical office, an address that you can publish, as you set your Google business profile up, you will need to verify it either via a text message or a call, or you may need to create a video to prove that that address is where you operate from. And the video has got to be a single, continuous, unedited video that shows your physical location, things like street signs, and any business signage that you have in place. Now, if you don't have a physical address, don't worry, because you can create within Google Business Profile what we call a service area business profile. And this means that you don't have to display your home address publicly. And it will cover areas that your business will cover. Now, we've covered setting up this vital element, as I said, already in more detail within the book. So now let's broach the subject of social media. Love it or hate it, social media is a powerful tool for your business. The key to this is consistency. So just one platform, updated consistently once a week, will offer a greater advantage than 4 social media platforms updated sporadically. It's important to post on local community Facebook groups and platforms such as Nextdoor. You could also list your business on other online directories like EL, the Hypnotherapy directory. And these listings work on what we call NAP, which stands for name, address, and phone number. All the search engines are looking for this information. So remember to keep your name, address, and phone number consistent across all references of your business on the internet. Now, of course, we've got online directories, social media, the internet. But in addition to all those things, remember the power of traditional marketing. Business cards and flyers are still valuable. Now, flyers in local businesses do work for hypnotherapists. So pin flyers wherever you can, in coffee shops, on supermarket community boards, or even in the local post office. We built our local business here at the clinic simply by offering hairdressers and beauticians within our locality a free 15-minute relaxation session, just in exchange for putting up one of our flyers or leaving a pile on their desk. And they talked to all their clients about how relaxing the hypnotherapy was, and the word just spread. For those of you that are looking for a faster way to reach a targeted audience, then paid advertising can be effective. But it's a field that requires expertise. And trust me, if you get it wrong, it can be incredibly costly. So we highly recommend, if you're considering paid advertising, to find a specialist.
Client management and growth.
Now, effective client management goes beyond the session itself. Positive client experience starts from the very first moment that they contact you. And this is a chance for you to build trust and reassurance and to give the client hope. Now, I always recommend to begin with by offering a free, no obligation discovery call just to see if you're a good fit. And this isn't a mini session, it's not a sales pitch, but it's a chance for both of you to talk and to determine whether or not you are a good fit to work together. Remember to keep it solution focused, and the work with the client often starts with this very call. One of the questions we get asked all the time is, how do I receive payments from clients? And receiving payments from clients can be troublesome unless you've got something set up, such as a service like SumUp. And this makes your life so much easier. Now, with SumUp, you can open a free account, you can send secure payment linked invoices to clients, and now you can even take card payments on your phone without the need of a card reader. You receive a daily sales summary report that's emailed to you. That makes it really easy for you to reconcile your accounts. And remember the importance of a simple follow-up email after the very first session, usually with a link to your relaxation track. This shows that you're on the ball. It reinforces the value of your work. And this is a nice way to give the client a hope, but also keep them in their intellectual mind after that very first session. Moving forward with bookings, online booking systems like Fresher or Calendly, they're great, they're game changers. They eliminate that back and forth emails, and this can significantly reduce no-shows. You simply set up a cancellation policy, and you can remind clients of their appointments with a text message or email. And the final stage of your journey within your first year is about building a sustainable long-term business that works for you. And this means thinking about scaling your practice. So maybe than just one-on-one sessions with clients, consider some group hypnotherapy. You can serve multiple people at once, and it creates a really powerful sense of community. Now, if you do group work, some of the insurance companies will insist that you've had relevant group hypnotherapy training on your training course. And some of the courses out there don't offer this. You can usually find CPDs. They're on the NCH or the APHP website. And here at HHC, we actually do a group CPD that is accepted by the insurance companies. Networking, whether in person or online, again, is a crucial way of building connections, and it can be a way of attracting new clients. But it's not about being a hard seller. Some of the business networking groups out there are quite scary. So find networking groups that align with your interests, not just business-focused ones. It might be mums in business together. The key is to build relationships and to become a trusted resource. It's also important to remember the power of local networking. So to get to know the health professionals that are working within your area, GPs, physios, chiropractors. You may even consider putting flyers up in these other businesses, premises that you network with. Now, any good business model has a passive income source. So developing digital products like self-hypnosis recordings or online well-being courses, these are great. These will provide a source of passive income. Now, of course, you remember to check your product liability cover, because if you're selling or you're gifting things to clients, you need that extra protection. Also, don't forget about corporate wellness. Many businesses these days are actively seeking ways to improve employee well-being. And this is a great sector to get into. And finally, a word on self-care. The emotional labor of being a therapist as well as a business owner is significant. And of course, as we know, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So schedule some time off for yourself. Prioritize your mental and physical health, and use the quiet times to proactively build your business, not just doom scrolling on TikTok. Remember, you amplify what you focus on. Never focus on how quiet you are or how fewer clients you have. Look at those quiet times as an advantage, an opportunity for you to build your business in ways that's going to attract even more new clients. Remember, any successful business is built consistently, steadily, and over a period of time. So remember, your practice to build it one client at a time. The attraction of high ticket clients, the attraction of becoming a coach and charging £4,000 for therapy is great, but it's short lived. So if you want a successful, long lasting practice, build it one client at a time, steadily, consistently, and with a focus on professionalism, empathy, and continuous growth. Just watch out for those too good to be true offers, because they usually are just that, too good to be true. And usually they end up costing you dearly. Now, supervision is a must. It's not a chore. And I would recommend group supervision every time over one-on-one. Of course, having 20 therapists' opinions is far better than just one opinion. To find a supervisor, find a peer group that fits with you and what you want out of it. So thank you all for your time and your attention today. I hope this has provided you some tips and ideas for launching your new career as a hypnotherapist. I know we've covered a lot today, so I would be happy to open the floor to any questions that you may have if, of course, you're watching this CPD live. And, of course, we can take a more detailed look at all the topics that we've discussed. And if you're watching this on replay as part of the first year strategy for each CPD, by selecting next now, you will be presented with a series of multiple choice questions. And once completed correctly, this will allow you to download your 1 hour CPD certificate. If you are watching this live, details of this will be presented at the end of this CPD. Of course, our practitioner's handbook, first year in hypnotherapy practice. This is a guide that covers all the points, the tips and the strategies, some of which we've discussed today, to get you up and running, and a blueprint for your first year in practice. It's a great reference. There's all the information that we've covered today, plus lots more tips, advice. You'll get an email link so that you will be able to order a PDF copy or even a published book that might be printed and delivered to your letterbox if that is your preferred way of reading. And you can also find details of this book on our website, hypnotherapy-supervision-cpd.uk, and just visit web store. So thank you again for taking time, and thank you for your interest in hypnotherapy. And I'm sure you will all be very successful in your first year in practice. Now, if you are sitting this as a live CPD, I'll see you real soon, where we're going to open and take some questions. If not, I'm sure that we'll see each other again real soon. Enjoy the rest of your day, whatever you're doing, and thank you.